These are the best damn crab cakes you'll ever eat. Well, today it's all about crab cakes. And if you're yawning and going, really? That's so done and done. I'm going to tell you, it is not done and done. Because these are the best damn crab cakes you'll ever eat. What makes good from bad? Crab. Real crab, Dungeness crab, not mock, made up crab. It has to be the real McCoy. And not a lot of potato, because if you don't have enough crab, it ends up being a potato cake, and nobody really wants a potato cake. So we're going to start with the ingredients that are most important, and that's the crab. So when you buy it, make sure that it is Dungeness. It will say it clearly, and make sure that you blot this all out on paper towel, so that you can sort of comb through it and get any little bits of shell, because it's not always perfect. Potato, a russet potato, not a Yukon Gold, nothing else. You want a russet potato, and there's a reason. The russet will hold together better. It doesn't have a lot of moisture in it, whereas the newer potatoes like the Nuggets, the red, they're more moisture concentrated than the russet. So I boiled the russet potato, and we're going to grate it. And you're just going to go through that and just shred it. Make sure that your potato is cooked all the way through. We don't want raw potato, because it will not cook with the crab. So you want to make sure your potato is cooked all the way through. Okay, this was a huge, huge potato. So I'm going to let that go over here, because I have had enough of the potato. So 1 large egg, beaten. 1 green onion, chopped really fine. 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard and 2 of mayonnaise. I like to use Hellmann's mayonnaise. You can use whatever mayonnaise you like. Sun-dried tomatoes, finely chopped. Corn. I'm using kernel corn, canned kernel corn, but you want to wash it, drain it, and then blot it dry. So I did this so that there's no moisture in the corn. And then down to the magic ingredient, which is a chipotle chili pepper. What is actually chipotle in adobo? It's really just a smoked jalapeno pepper in a very spicy adobo sauce. And there's about maybe 15 or 20 in here. They're spicy, so be careful and don't overdo it. I'm not using a lot, so it's gonna go in, okay? We're gonna mix that up, so. Quite smoky, and it's a lovely, lovely, lovely flavor. In goes the potato, and then finally, our crab. You don't want to put the crab in. You notice how I did it in steps. I did, first of all, the flavoring component of this, then the potato, so it gets moistened easily, and then lastly, we put in the crab specifically for a reason, so it doesn't get all torn up and smushed up. In goes crab, and lots of it. Now we're going to mix gently. Now your vigorous beating is not happening. Just ever so gentle, just so that we can get the potato mixture to hold the crab in. Now, what would make this just even one little elevated step higher? Let's think about crusting it in toasted hazelnuts. You could use almonds, pecans, you could use whatever you want. I've chopped and toasted hazelnuts. So take as big or as little as you want. It's going to be messy, so we're going to pat these together like so. If you make them too big, it gets hard to get them cooked through to the middle. Kind of a 2-bite appetizer, or if you wanted to make this a first course, you could make them bigger, and then you would obviously serve them with a fork and a knife. And then we're just going to roll the edges like so in the hazelnut. Not the top and not the bottom. If we coated the whole thing in the top and the bottom and then we turn to fry it, what will happen, the nuts will burn and the crab corn cake will not be cooked through. The mixture you're going to find is a little bit loose. You want it a little bit loose because, remember, we don't want anything to highlight it except for the crab. You'll see most crab cakes that you buy commercially, they're firmer, but there's more filler, and the filler is usually potato. I've got grapeseed oil in the pan. Allergies are a big concern. You need to be noteworthy of your friends and family's allergies or aversions. And always ask if you're entertaining. I always ask, do you have anything you can't eat? So nuts are very common. So in this case, we're gonna coat some in panko. So make sure that you separate it. So we'll cook these, but you would definitely wash the pan out, get rid of all the nuts because it's very, very, very severe. And then do your panko dipped. I'll show you how to panko dip. In the panko dipped ones, we are not going to just do the edges. We're going to do the whole thing. And then they'll come out golden brown on all sides. So we're gonna go into the panko bowl and we are dipping the whole thing. So then these will just be really little golden brown nuggets. Look at that, golden brown to perfection. One flip, again, no triple turning. It's a one turn deal all the time. Beautiful. You can see the kernels of corn kind of popping through. Soft in the middle, crunchy on the outside. Who doesn't love that? Paper towel. We don't want excess oil. They don't take long because remember, everything here is cooked. Crab's cooked, corn's cooked, potatoes cooked. It's just setting the egg that's holding this together, but that's it. Totally yummy. So we're gonna just blot that dry. It's not really greasy and I never really overload my pan with a lot of oil. That's why we always use a really good non-stick pan because that will enable you to not use a lot of oil. And then to top this off, we are going to make a little chipotle mayo just to dollop on the top, just to give it that little zazazzoom. While these are blotting dry and cooling, you don't want to drop that chipotle mayo on while there's piping hot because what will happen is the mayo will break down and it will liquefy when it's too hot. Chipotle chili. So this is sort of what it looks like. A jalapeno, but it's smoked. So we're gonna take that and we're gonna chop that up, mince it. It's really easy to mince it because it's been sitting in that can for quite a while and it will marry well with this mayo. It'll turn the mayo a little bit pink. Now, if you like it hotter, fill your boots, go for it. Little dollop on top, so. Now, can you make these ahead of time? Yes, you can make them a couple days ahead and keep them in the refrigerator and then cook them up just before you're ready to serve them. Can you freeze them? Yes. As long as the crab was not previously frozen, you can freeze them raw, bring them out and cook them. I'm going to just put that there and then we're going to just give it a little finish with this chopped cilantro just to give it a little bit of color. And there we have our Chipotle Corn Crab Cakes. For this recipe and everything you need to make this your own, go to thegourmetwarehouse.ca.